Good morning again, and it's another episode of Just One Thing. And I'm really excited today because we're talking about something we've never talked about before, which is socks, the power of the sock. And I'm thrilled to have, well, you're not the creator of Socky Wocky, but you are very much the administrator of Socky Wocky because it was actually created by your son, Safin, and we really want to hear all about it because it's a really innovative idea. So over to you.
Hi everyone. Yes, so that's right. So Safin is my now 10-year-old son. But last year he came up to me and he said that, I want to start my own business. So okay, a bit of a strange request at that age, but we thought let's roll with it. So we literally just put a piece of paper on the back of the kitchen door and we said, you know what, every time you have an idea, Safin, just pop it down and we'll kind of go from there. And surprisingly, that's exactly what he did. We had things like a chicken shop on there and restaurants. We thought, maybe a bit ambitious. So then he put socks and we were like, okay, this could work. And the idea just evolved from there. Then we said about being positive socks. And as a family, we all sit around and, just put the idea on paper. See, could it actually work? Is there a market for it? And yeah, we found that actually there is.
It's a wonderful thing. I mean, I found you, as it were. We won a competition. We won a pair of your lovely socks.
Okay.
And they're gorgeous. They're fantastically, they're brightly coloured. And we found it really difficult to choose which ones we wanted. They all have really lovely messages, really positive messages. I think the ones that my daughter chose are Be Someone's Reason to Smile.
Yeah,
And what a beautiful expression, what a beautiful thing for a child to consider. And so they're good quality socks, which is enough really, but actually they're more than that because there's some really powerful words on there.
And that was really important to us and definitely important to Safin. And all the affirmations are ones that he picked himself, all the designs of the socks, designs that he did himself. Obviously we had them neatened up and brushed up slightly, but it's all his own doing. He pretty much takes the lead, and we're there to guide and I guess finance and make some of the bigger decisions and do things like this that he's not necessarily able to do. But 100% he takes the lead and we follow him. It's amazing. We are very proud of him. Yeah.
Wow. And so where are you now? You have an online shop?
Yeah, so we sell online on our own website. We also sell on Etsy. That does really well. And surprisingly, a lot of our customers are from America, Australia, New Zealand. So they tend to do really well overseas. We're also in a couple of shops, so small independent boutiques. We're in Wales, somewhere in the Middle East. So yeah, it's taken off and it's been an amazing journey. Of course, it is hard work, but children are just so creative, and I think as adults we kind of lose that a little bit. And with Safin being in control, and he's got the ideas, he's got the creativity, he's got the courage, and because we're following his lead, I think that's part of the reason why it actually is working as well as it is. It's incredible, yeah.
So have you changed jobs so that you can take on this role? Have you had to, how's that worked for you? Because Mum, normally we're in charge, aren't we? Or we think we are.
Yeah, exactly. At the moment, I'm doing my degree, so it's full steam ahead in this house at the moment. So I study full time, doing my degree. I also have an additional part-time job as well as this. So
wow,
full on, but again, we enjoy it. And we're that kind of family. We love to be busy, and everyone has a role to play in the business. Everyone has a job to do, and it works. If we all chip in, we can do it. We manage.
It's fab. So is Safin at school? Is he in full-time school?
Yeah, so Safin, it's just your regular 10-year-old. He goes to school, he plays football, he has play dates. Just in the evening, he's at home packing socks and updating social media. Yeah, he's a very regular 10-year-old. He loves computer games. He hates doing homework. All those kind of things.
Oh yeah. So where do you see things going? I mean, are you sticking with socks and just updating designs, or, has Safin kind of expressed what's next?
To be honest, I don't think we really thought it would take off as well as it did. Yeah, I don't know. I think in our heads maybe we thought, we'll go with it. We'd probably sell a few locally, do a couple of markets, and then the next thing we know, we're selling socks in the Middle East. So I think maybe we'll just continue what we're doing and give it a year or so, and see where it goes. But again, we get lots of people asking us, we should do t-shirts and have people back doing school bags, but we want to get that balance. We want to have a happy working life. We want Safin to focus on his education. So I think for now we'll just continue with what we're doing, and maybe put a few more lines, but just continue with the socks for now.
It's kind of quite nice to be niche, isn't it? They're very unusual because they're very specific, and I quite like that. That they're special, aren't they?
Well, that's the thing that was actually quite puzzling, because I thought it must have been done before. There must be someone who's thought of, socks with positive affirmations. And there is similar things with socks that have one word on them, for instance, awesome, but they're not necessarily so child friendly, and they're not like we have the full sentences. And there was just nothing there. So we thought, great, let's go with it. And again, it's just taken off really well.
So have you had to learn lots of new skills? I'm trying to think, if my kids said they wanted to start a sock empire, I don't know if I would know where to begin with that, with just finding manufacturers and various, I assume there's lots of standards you have to meet and things. Has it been a real learning curve of sort of practical stuff?
Absolutely, Claire. It's been insane. I'm things I find myself doing now, and things I've had to learn, and the additional courses that I've had, even connecting with you today. You need to know a bit of everything, and I'm far from a master at any of these things. But yeah, social media, marketing, meetings, manufacturers. We have to go overseas for our manufacturing, so it's definitely been a massive learning curve, but it's been fun. And Safin, again, is just so involved. Like, he loves making these phone calls. He loves going to meetings. He's more than happy to do presentations, and it's brilliant because it just takes the pressure off me massively. So he's full steam ahead. But it's definitely been a massive learning.
It's interesting. Does he have siblings? Are you kind of panicking that maybe, the next child might decide they want to start a business as well?
Well, he has an older brother, and it's strange because his older brother, he does a little bit of his business himself. So he's 17, and he buys and sells trainers.
Oh, wow. What an industrious family.
Well, I think someone's asked me that question before, and I think I have, I always emphasize the importance of education and, being able to sustain yourself, and, knowledge is power and all that kind of thing. But I've also almost put it into them, it's not necessarily about getting that dream job. Why don't you create that dream job for other people? Why don't you think about, maybe running your own business? And I think clearly it's probably stuck.
It's a really positive message though, isn't it? And I think it's very liberating, actually, if we allow children to have that base, that education where they can read and write and do all those important things, but then not set too many boundaries about what they do with that. That's an amazing gift to them, isn't it? To just say, actually, you can create, with hard work and, and thought and care, you can create something that's just yours.
Absolutely, and something you enjoy. And I think sometimes, we go to school, get a job, do your 9 to 5, and it's not always 100% enjoyable. So have a little play around, enjoy life, right? That's what it's there for. So have as much fun as possible. Will Safin be selling socks in 10 years? Who knows? We might
I hope so. I like them.
Sugar of socks, who knows? But he's having plenty of fun. He loves the attention, and with the socks, we genuinely believe in what we're doing, and we hope that we're putting across positive messages, and we're hoping that children become more positive. And again, it's just the other day I was having a conversation so easily, we're happy to point out the negative things about ourselves. I'm the queen of saying, oh no, Natalie, why have you done that, and oh, why did you say that, and oh, look what you've done. We don't speak very nicely to ourselves, and it's surprising how talking nicely to yourself or complimenting yourself feels so awkward, when really it shouldn't. It should be the other way around. So hopefully we can convey that message, and more people will talk to themselves nicely. And
it's more powerful than we realise. I mean, I've spent 15 years in mental health recovery and supporting people with their self-talk, with their internal messaging.
yeah.
And compliments is always a thorny issue. People will always, oh, I hate being told, anything nice about myself. I find it really difficult. And I always used to say to people, you just have to think of it like a present. Somebody wants to give you a present of being kind to you, and you don't have to like it. And it's a bit like, something Auntie Mavis has knitted. You don't have to wear it even, but you do have to take it. You do have to accept it and put it in the back of the wardrobe. And I think, giving compliments and becoming comfortable with receiving them is a really powerful way to influence our self-esteem, right at our core. And I think if we can encourage children, to start that process at that wonderful age when they're so much more open and receptive, just with socks. I mean, I think every time my daughter's worn them, someone's asked what's written on them. And they're also just gorgeous. They're beautiful colours, and they've got smiley ice creams on. So people kind of look at them even if they haven't noticed that there's writing. There's always been, and she beams when she says, I'm someone's reason to smile, and thinks of something she's done that day, for that. So they help her focus on something positive, but they're also, a lovely conversation that she has with loads of people, just through socks. It's fantastic.
No, definitely. And we also do, we try and work a lot with charities, and it's the same thing. It's if you can just get that message across, and at such a young age, and then they'll have it through their adult life when things do get tough, and it can be difficult, and then hopefully teach the children the same thing, and it just so life can be a lot more positive and a nicer place to be.
Oh, it's wonderful. We've digressed somewhat from my list of things I'm supposed to ask. So one of the questions I always ask people is, in this, and you've had, my goodness, all sorts of different areas you might want to share. Have you come across a website that you found really helpful, either in business or just sort of family life even?
Yeah, see, I don't necessarily have a go-to website or source, but what I am a massive fan of is, in the morning we get YouTube and we put in morning motivational speech. We'll have it on in the background. We could be brushing our teeth, doing your regular morning routine. And whether it's, sometimes the kids will perk up and listen to certain bits, or whether it's going in subconsciously, but it's just the morning routine will always have some sort of motivational speaker in the background. This morning we was listening to Joel Osteen. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. And they say that the first thing you see or you do in the morning literally will affect your day. So that's definitely something that we do every morning, or we try to do every morning. Just put something positive, motivational in the background, get ready, have it on loud. And it's definitely, I feel it sets us up for the day. So that's our thing to do each morning.
Yeah, I love that. What I do at the bottom of the interview, in the comments, I'll add links to your Etsy and your website, and also some of these other things that other people might want to explore. That's a brilliant idea. I like that very much. And then to kind of counter not being on the internet all the time, is there anything more physical that you think is a really useful gadget or tool or thing to have in life?
Now, my thing is list. I cannot live without a list. And even on my list is to remember to write my list for tomorrow. It's just
written down on my list.
Yeah, and it's insane. And I don't know if it's just me or I'm just really sad, but nothing excites me more than ticking off my list. And the further I get down and the more ticks I see, the more excited I get. I can be the queen of procrastination, and if given the chance, I would. So for me, this is what motivates me, and getting through my list and finish at the end of the day, I'm give myself a pat on the back. And yeah, so 100%, I could not live without a list. And for me, that just keeps me organized, whether it's my personal list, my work list, again, I just have a list. Even what we're having for dinner is on a list. I just have a list for everything. And
are you a paper person, or is that online kind of, in a electronic
very
way?
old school, pen and paper, tick, tick. Yeah, absolutely. Very old school. And I just couldn't function without it. Otherwise, just too much goes on. It's all over the place. I'm trying to remember, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. So yeah, list. Anyone who feels that they've got a lot to deal with within a day, just write it down. Piece of paper, fold it up, tick as you go along. Marvellous. Best thing ever.
I love it. I love it. So then, it's been such a joy to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time this morning. It's been really interesting. And I really want to encourage people to go and have a look at these lovely socks because they're really beautiful. So we usually end. I started this series because I was looking at our family and, living our values and wanting to, have a more positive impact on the world. And I felt a bit overwhelmed because there was just so much, that I should do, could do. And I find when I'm overwhelmed, I don't end up doing anything. So I started this series to sort of focus me and give me, and it turns out some other people feel like me, perhaps just some ideas of small, simple things that we can do. And I'm asking everybody just because I think, we're a global community. So I'm going to just put you on the spot and say, do you think there's just one thing you could suggest that would just help in some way to make the world a nicer place?
Absolutely. I think if you could do one thing for yourself every day, would be to look in the mirror and tell yourself something positive about yourself. If you love yourself, then you've got plenty of love to give around as well. So yeah, tell yourself something positive every morning. That's
lovely. That's a really nice one, and it costs nothing, and it's something really valuable.
Definitely. And the same with your children. Make your children do the same thing, before they leave for school, tell them one thing that you love about them or one thing positive about them, and get them to give you one thing positive that they feel about themselves. It takes the whole of 10 seconds, and then you've all left the day on a really, really positive note.
Oh, that's made me feel bad now, because I think the last thing I said to mine this morning was, if you've left your PE kit in the car again.
Like I say, as much as you can, it doesn't always go to plan. As much as you can be positive, then yeah, but I feel you there. PE kit, lunchbox, water bottle, it's left, it's lost. The 5th jumper this month. Yeah, no, it doesn't always go to plan, I know.
I'm going to greet them though with something lovely. That's really lovely. I think that's wonderful, and it's all in our hands, isn't it? It's all in our grasp to do that if we just take that breath.
And that's
take that deep breath.
And that's the wonders of positive affirmations. You can make, you don't have to rely on anyone else to make you feel good or feel worthy. You can do that yourself. You have the power to do that. Say something nice about you, because I'm sure there's 1,000,001 things that we've all got going for ourselves.
That's lovely. Thank you so much for your time today. It was such a fun to talk to you. Having seen you in not actually met you, having just seen your products, it's always lovely to meet the people behind them. And of course, we didn't want Safin to miss school, but I'm sure there's quite a few pictures of him and things, aren't there, on your site, so people can get a sense of him as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We did a story for the Daily Mail last week as well, so there's a couple of Metro as well, so there's a couple of newspaper articles, so he's loving life at the moment. Loves the limelight. Good for him.
Thank you so much.
Lovely. Thank you for having us. Take care of yourselves. Thank you, everyone. Bye.